Thanks for joining me on this one, man. It's a big subject in Newham.
Yeah, man.
I think for both of us as well. So I want to talk about my experiences. Okay, so the reason why I want to talk to you is that a couple of years ago, a boy in my year group was fatally stabbed in Stratford. Alright, that hit me hard. Obviously, for the whole year group, seeing the kids cry, wanting to hug. These are 15, 16-year-old boys that just breaking down. And unfortunately, again, it happened a year later. So I wanted to reach out from this, and when we was kids, we went to the same school, Bonds. We lost a dear friend, Elton, to the same sort of crime.
Yeah.
So I want to speak to you about knife crime, and first of all, we'll start off with how did you react to Elton's death all those years ago?
Bro, it was mad because I think as soon as Elton died, like, I realised that we were kids, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, we grew up until that point thinking that we were big men, innit? Yeah, and that we were adults and that. Because we used to move as our own men and invincible or whatever, and then, like, one of our boys died and he weren't coming back, innit? And in my head it was like, that's too soon, though. Like, what do you mean? Like, we're only kids. But then we're thinking, wait, what do you mean? And then it's like conflicting in your head because you're thinking, no, I'm a big man, but you're thinking, no, but so then why can't I die yet? Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, why are we not hit? Yeah. So then you start conflicting in your head about what you are, innit? If you're a big man or not. And bro, that killed me, man, because that was my guy. Obviously, the politics behind it should never have happened anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? But it was just one of them ones where it was just hard to accept that someone could take someone from you. You know what I'm trying to say? It just didn't, that concept didn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't.
And like you said, there's no coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gone forever, that's your boy.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly. So I think like what was mad with me is that like that night, like when he got attacked and that, I spoke to him. And he was on his way to come and meet some of us because we were out that night as well. So when we found out that he passed, in my head it was like, no, but he was coming to meet me though. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense in your head. So like, I just remember being young and just not being able to process it properly.
Yeah. See, for me, obviously, there wasn't social media as much back then, BlackBerry, BBM, etc.
Yeah,
so there wasn't much communication, but the first time I found out of it, was the Sun newspaper. The front page.
Down.
My mum buys the paper for my dad, I look at it, it's Elton in his coat with a Bonds tie.
Bro.
That's the first time I realised he had passed away. I was like, now I'm trying to find out what's going on.
Was that like on the day after, or what happened?
The day after, so he passed away, early morning.
Right, yeah. Oh, so when he actually passed, when you found out, right?
So then the next morning, they must have printed it so fast, it was on the front paper.
Yeah, man, it's mad. It's mad because like even the night, like when he got attacked, like I remember going to sleep because obviously we were waiting around for him, and then you know I was like, alright, just do our thing, whatever. And then I remember like I found out that morning because someone called me asking me if I'm alright. So I was like, what do you mean am I alright? You see what I'm saying? And then that's how I sort of found out. And yeah, bro, it was, but obviously he didn't pass at that point, it was just that he got attacked and that, so I was like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then obviously, so yeah, man, like I think we were 17, we were 16 at the time.
Yeah.
We were 16 at the time, and like.
We had just left school, it was the summer before our GCSEs.
We finished our GCSEs, I remember the last exam, I looked around at him, and then we were bantering and all that in the exam room. He was like, yeah, last exam, whatever, and then we all left, and we were just enjoying the holidays of no school, and then, bruh, it's just, yeah, man. Madness, bro.
So like, moving on,
Yeah.
a few years later, unfortunately, you yourself became a victim of knife crime.
A year later.
A year later. So can you share your story about the time you stabbed that? Why you stabbed?
Yeah, so basically I got stabbed a year later, and it was kind of like, it wasn't to do with like the postcode stuff that's going on now, but it kind of was. You see what I'm trying to say? Because what sort of, how can I kind of say it without incriminating people? you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I would say that the area that we're from, you have no choice but to be connected to certain people.
Yeah.
So, my connection with one of my close friends was not liked by people that didn't like him. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So, when me and that person came into contact, obviously it wasn't good for me. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it was one of them situations where it was like, I just got caught off guard, innit?
Yeah.
And I wasn't even involved in those things back then, so it's not like I used to walk around in big numbers or walk around with stuff on me to be prepared. Innit?
Yeah.
In my head, I didn't have any problems. You see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Exactly. So obviously when it happened, it was just one of them ones where I just had to just take it. Do you know what I mean?
So whereabouts did this happen?
In East Ham.
East Ham.
Yeah, so I actually got stabbed on High Street South, right next to the Greenway. The
Yeah.
Greenway that goes from East Ham to Beckton.
Yeah.
I got stabbed inside that Greenway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 years ago. So yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago, literally. So yeah, man, like that was why I got stabbed 7 times. So I got stabbed twice in my arm.
Yeah.
I got stabbed once in my chest. I got stabbed once in my back of my shoulder. I got stabbed in the middle of my back. I got stabbed in my hand and in my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 7. And yeah, so like, but there was more like, obviously when they were cutting my clothes off, there was more cuts and, because obviously they would do it but missing. You know what I'm saying? So there was some of them that was getting in, some of them that wasn't. So like there was like cuts in between of the, you know what I'm trying to say?
So you're lucky to be sitting.
Basically, yeah, like I know I am. I know I'm lucky. I'm not even gonna try and downplay it, bro. Like I never try and downplay it because
Someone get stabbed once and you
Exactly.
get stabbed 7 times, slashed more times than that.
yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't really want to downplay it that I'm still here.
No, you shouldn't.
Because like, you know what I mean, you do have that survivor's guilt. So I'm saying like, where like, even with Elton, I have that feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You got to carry on for him.
yeah, like when I talk about him,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I shouldn't. Because he passed in it and I didn't, and I kind of feel, you know what I'm trying to say? So like, there's that sort of thing where like,
the best way is like, I find if you keep talking about it, he's always remembered.
100%. Like, it's not like I don't like talking about him,
Yeah.
because I do, but like publicly, I very rarely do publicly, because it's just one of them ones. I guess I just have that survivor's guilt in it, where like, you know, I survived and he didn't, but you know, with my thing, it's like, I see kids, like I said, nowadays getting stabbed less, and a lot, not maybe like as graphically or whatever as I did, and they did it, and some of them didn't make it, and that kills me, every single one of them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, every single one of them that I see or hear about, it's like,
That's like, I say,
You know what I mean?
the boy in like, the year group that I was in charge of, assistant in charge of, he was stabbed on a bus going to Stratford. He stabbed in his chest with a big, I think it was a 10-inch knife.
yeah.
I managed to run to outside of McDonald's in Stratford, the old Stratford Mall. He collapsed there. But like, kids these days just don't seem to fear it, or they don't understand what the consequences are. But like you said, you've been stabbed 7 times, you got stabbed once in the chest, and his life's over, and luckily your life is still continuing.
Yeah, I'm saying this not to brag.
Yeah.
I'm saying this to tell you how mad I feel like the situation is, because when I got stabbed in the Greenway, bro, I ran like half a mile down the road with a punctured lung, one eye,
Yeah.
like fucked, like, and I'm ducking full sprint, yeah, and I've hopped a fence, everything, and I'm trying to get help, you know what I mean? I know I've been stabbed out, because I clocked I've been stabbed, so I'm like, I've got all, but you know what? I would say 2 or 3 months before I got stabbed, I kept having dreams of getting stabbed. Every single night I had a dream.
Before you were stabbed?
Yeah. So like, before I got stabbed, yeah, I kept having these like weird nightmares, innit? Like every night I would wake up, because I got stabbed and I would die. And every time I died, I would wake up. And I felt it was weird that it kept happening for like a month. And then I remember I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why do I keep having these dreams? Yeah. And then there was one time I got stabbed, yeah, and then I survived because I took off my top and I clogged it on my leg. Actually, in the dream, I clogged it on my leg.
Yeah.
And I waited for the ambulance. Ambulance came. I survived, didn't it?
Yeah.
From that day, I never had another dream again. Yeah. And then the real thing happened. Madness kicked off. Whatever. I ran. First thing I did, I clocked it. Stabbed, take off my top, clocked it. Boom. Right. Ran into the road, trying to stop bare cars and that, trying to get them to help me, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And then eventually, like, it was mad. Bare people driving past me. People shook. I must have been fucked. You know what I'm saying?
Some people don't want to get involved though. They see something and they don't want to help out.
Yeah, people were literally looking at me and they were shook.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, why the fuck you shook with me, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, but they were generally petrified, bro.
Yeah.
And then one woman, like, and her daughter stopped. And they said, excuse me, you need help? I was like, please, like, you know what I'm saying? But imagine I'm still conscious, I'm still able to talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm still able to walk around, so these are questions that I have to ask myself all the time. How the fuck, sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, you can do it.
Sorry, bro, like how the fuck, yeah, did I do that?
Yeah.
And I'm hearing these man, and I see videos of what happened to these men.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, how the fuck did I survive that? Do you understand what I'm saying? So
I mean, we're all built differently, that's it. Just
no, but it's not that. It's not that we're built differently. I don't believe that.
yeah.
Yeah? Because I believe that whatever was meant to happen would have happened, but because of how it happened with me, that's why I feel like I have the survivor's guilt.
Okay.
Because it's like, how did I go through that? And I'm here.
Yeah.
And I watched that and they're not here. You feel like it doesn't it's mad to me. So yeah, like, so now I am here, I feel like I have to do something. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I hear that.
You know,
Well, you are as well, that's the thing, it's the difference. Like, you're not, I don't know what it's like, I don't think you seek any sort of revenge or not, I don't know the backstory of that.
not anymore.
But you're doing your PT stuff. I mean, you're trying to bring all of this to light.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you're doing your part.
Yeah, because do you know what I feel, bro? Like, it's one of them ones where, like, when we were younger, yeah, when Elton died, I saw everything change for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit got serious for everyone.
Yeah.
Because Elton was one of the first people that weren't like super involved in to get hurt and die.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to say? So everyone knew at that point anything could happen to anybody. You feel what I'm saying? No one is safe. And everyone clocked it from that moment. And everyone didn't know how to process that. Some people turned mad. Some people went ghost. Some people just changed. And everyone changed in their own way. Or something. And for me, it's like, if there was someone that could teach us how to deal with that and process that, and how to navigate through what's going on, I think a lot of our lives would have turned out better.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of the boys that we went to school with and was close to Elton, bro, they're not doing good since that day, bro.
But do you think they just didn't get the help they needed, like with the death of Baptista? A lot of the kids I work with and even staff have been given counselling. I think what was different for us is when it happened. It happened when we had left school. So those that weren't returning to bonds was going to new colleges or doing apprenticeships. People not knowing who they are, what they're going through.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
So
that's
there's no
deep.
people to talk to.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
100%, bro.
but mate, how do your parents react?
My parents, woo, bro, I'm gonna be real with you. They got stabbed too. You know what I mean?
So what I'm going to talk about is like, let's say, you're the victim,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
how I see it, it has a knock-on effect. I don't feel like you personally are just the victim.
Yeah.
Your family, your friends, your
It's
cousins,
worse on
this
them.
and the rest.
I'm gonna be so real to you. It's worse on them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know. Like, these are the people that love you most. Yeah. They will do anything for you.
Yeah.
If you've been stabbed and you've been hurt, there's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of their hands, and they have to live with that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, so they get stabbed too, and the worst thing is we're going through it, so it's cool. We can kind of deal with it, process. We understand why. We understand all the dots. Everything makes sense. You know what I mean? Because we're in it.
Yeah.
When someone's not in something and something bad has happened to someone close to them, they've got so much questions in their head. They don't know what's going left or right. They don't know.
You said there's questions, but there's no answers.
Yeah, and it's mad. And then they got to live and accept the fact that this is what it is now, isn't it? And the thing is what these men don't understand is the day you have to look at whoever you love. I don't know who that is. I don't want to say your mom. It might be a relationship with your mom, might be. I don't know. Yeah, but whoever you care about in your family, if you do a madness or something mad happens to you, you're not gonna understand when I say to you, what you're about to do to them is something that you're never gonna be able to reverse ever.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be able to mend or fix. You're never gonna be able to make it better. What you do to those people closest to you is gonna be something is gonna mentally mess you up.
Yeah.
You understand? Because any human brain, bro, I don't care who you are, everyone's brain as a human works the same way. If you hurt someone, or someone that you love or is close to you is hurt and it was your fault, it's gonna affect you in some shape or form.
Yeah. Yeah, mentally it's
You can run away from a brother with a knife. You can run away from someone if he pulls out a gun. You cannot run away from your brain.
no.
You cannot run away from what your head is gonna do to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And yeah, man, like, bro, Mark, it's. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even know if my mum and dad have even recovered from what's happened to me.
No, do you think they will?
I don't think so, bro. I don't know. Like, wherever I feel like things used to be, it's probably not going to be that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it's happened, it's done.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. For sure, that leads into my next question.
yeah.
Is what have the long-lasting effects been in your life?
I would say, if anything now, it's just mental health, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can you explain it?
when I'm going to try and explain it in a way where we're speaking to the young G's, like, I want to explain it to them where they can understand. Because obviously they might not be going through it right now, or they might, but they don't understand it.
Yeah.
Alright, imagine one day your brain has always worked how it works. So imagine your thoughts in your head are what they are now, and the way you think, the way you feel, the stuff you do. And then at a click of a finger, everything about you is different.
Yeah.
Everything you think about is different. Everything you do is different.
It's no longer a straight line.
You are no longer who you are. You are now a completely different person.
Yeah.
Forever. And the thing is that the fucked thing is that because you've grown up, this guy, as soon as you mentally change into another guy, the old you is always trying to find itself.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to go back to, you know what I mean? You want to feel how you felt from before, but you're not going to get that. It's gone because whatever's happened has happened. You feel what I'm saying? So like that's how one thing I can say to the youngers for them to understand is, do you remember how your head used to? Do you remember how you used to think? Do you remember how you used to feel? Those emotions that you used to have. And then when something mad happens, all of a sudden you think differently, you feel differently, you can't figure out why.
Yeah.
That's when you get knocked off center. Like, you're no longer in a straight line. Like what you said, that's like a mental health.
Yeah.
And you can't figure out what's going on upstairs, and you have no control over what you're thinking and feeling. And I don't know if that's gonna mean anything to them, but
So if, let's say, like, how would you overcome something like that? What do you do that to help you in your own health?
counselling, bro.
Yeah.
Counselling, bro. Go and see a counsellor. I did counselling in school, bro. Like, I had ADHD in it, so I was a bit of a mad kid in school. So like they had to do all these things and get me to see a counsellor to talk through what's going on and all that. So I was used to talking to people and counselling. But obviously after what happened to me, bro, I couldn't sleep, bro. I couldn't do nothing.
No.
Like my head was gone and I didn't understand why. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like I was, bro. I wanted to just, my thoughts were dark and my heart was black.
Yeah.
I was just, you see how these men are running around, just no care in the world. I know exactly how they feel.
Yeah.
I know exactly how they feel. Because
That's scary, man.
because you're not thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like what you're doing is you're just going with the flow. Because you don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Imagine when Elton died and how angry and upset that we felt.
Yeah.
That's exactly what these men are going through.
Yeah. When you
It's
put
the
it that
same
way,
thing.
I actually think of it like that. Like, back then, for me to remember my exact emotions 10, 11 years ago, it's hard, but I feel like for you, when you went through it, and then a year later, it's now you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, for me, I felt like when I went through the whole element stage, I sort of moved away. I didn't go to college back then. I came away, did my thing, and then it all clicked again when Batista died.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I was now those year 11s that lost a friend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But now as an adult, I feel like I've lost a kid.
Right.
And as his like assistant at the beginning, there's one word that always goes through, and my colleagues would know, it's failure. We failed this kid. How do we not know that this kid was in trouble?
Yeah. And you know what's mad though? Because when I went to the school, after Baptista passed, I had that aura with all the teachers.
Yeah.
All the teachers was just kind of like deflated, bro.
Yeah.
Like they just,
No, it's tough. I've never seen the school suicidal.
the teachers didn't even want to talk about it. They were just, you know what I mean? It's like there was almost this guilt. You know what I'm trying to say? But I hear it though because you feel like they're your responsibility. They came from school.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is that, bro, what you gotta understand, even when we were in school, we were living double lives.
Yeah.
Them teachers had no idea what we were up to after school. They had no idea what happened on the weekend, and then we're just back in class, just sitting and chilling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? They had no idea what happened on Saturday and Sunday, but now we're back in school on Monday in our shirt and tie, sitting there like, here, miss,
No.
acting like kids, bro. But then, you know what I'm trying to say? So,
on the outside, no.
on the outside world, bro, it is mad. And the thing is that with these younger generations now, bro, these men have so much pressure because everything is televised.
Yeah. There's always a camera somewhere.
Everything is televised, bro. Imagine right now, imagine if what happened to me when I got stabbed, and that was on camera.
How many times has that video would have been watched?
Yeah? Not even that. Imagine I'm trying to drop a podcast 10 years later. Someone wants to abandon me, releases the video. Oh, ain't this guy, boom, boom, boom. I want to relive that experience because there's a video of it.
And then, like you said, your mental health.
And then it triggers again, and then you
all that recovery, that work you've been doing on yourself.
Yeah.
Reversed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then obviously I've done a lot of work on myself, so I'm hopeful that I can be able to deal with a situation like that mentally and be able to keep myself at a level. You see what I'm saying? But there's a lot of men that don't go for that help and seek that help, so they get drawn out.
Yeah.
So when they do get stabbed now, when these kids do get stabbed, the other men are publicly laughing at them, bro.
Yeah.
Publicly.
And that puts pressure on itself, doesn't it?
Imagine how much pride. Remember how much pride we had?
Yeah.
Bro, you were the Irish boy in Bonds, bro.
Yeah.
You were like, what, the only, or one of the only in our year.
Yeah.
In our year, bro. You understand? Your pride The reason why you had so much respect is you had so much pride for yourself, bro.
No, 100%
Yeah.
you have to, man.
And that's why you were so respected back then. You know what I'm saying? They can hear it from me now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? That's why you were so respected. So imagine now if you were getting publicly disrespected on like, and we were young like that. Our reputations were everything when we were 15, 16. How someone looked at me was absolutely everything.
Well, that's the thing. That's what it's like. When someone does that, they do tarnish your reputation. You ain't mentally as strong yet to be able to hold back your thoughts and say, "You know what, that's nothing, let me just slide that away."
You're not.
But you react. That's what young people do, they react.
Yeah, your brain stopped developing at 25, bro.
There you go.
There's no way a 16-year-old is gonna process what the fuck is going through with him, and he's gonna make the right choices more time.
Yeah.
The brain stopped developing at 25. That's why at 25 years old, us man, we start getting emotional and start thinking about shit. And all of a sudden we have emotions and you can't. You know what I'm saying? Because we're like, where's this coming from? Because it didn't develop when we were younger. That happens with the girls, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some guys develop it earlier, but once we hit 25 and our brain is fully formed, and then we're, as men, we're thinking, why do we think so much? Because you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's true.
You get me? When you're young, 15, 16, you ain't thinking.
Yeah.
Another man says to you, what, you're a pussy? Or what? I'm a pussy.
Yeah.
At 15.
It's big things. It's a big thing.
You know what I'm saying? And you did it on the internet in front of these girls from this side, and them man, they are laughing, and you got all these hundreds of people liking it.
That's what I say. That's why there's so much pressure. If someone says that and everyone's seen it, you don't react. You are. You are what you say you are.
Exactly. Until you get older and everyone goes, oh, that was done back in the day, innit? But you gotta wait 10 years.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm on the phone to man now, yeah, that went through stuff 10 years ago when we were in school, and they're venting on the phone to me now about shit that happened back then.
Yeah.
That's how much they felt strongly about what used to happen back then. It's no joke, bro.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
This shit is deep. It's like, so when I'm looking at these 15, 16-year-olds now, yeah, like, I don't think that there's not any hope. There's definitely hope.
Yeah, of course, there is.
There's definitely hope.
Yeah, you have to be honest.
And they're not, I don't think that they're savages. I don't think that they're animals. I think that they are us with more pressure on them. They've got more pressure.
That's a good way to put it.
They're us, because I'm telling you right now, the people that we knew back then, yeah? Alright, put it this way, I'll dress it up another way. I don't believe that these kids are crazier than us or more gangster than we used to be, or they're this new breed of gangster.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, more people are committing crimes, right?
Yeah.
But snitching is at an all-time high.
Okay, yeah.
Which means that the people that are going into this life are doing it half-heartedly, and then when it hits the fan, they realize, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy.
Never coming back out.
So therefore, you're not really that person anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There were some people that we knew of that did mad stuff and were happily go and sit down.
Yeah.
Smile on their face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? No problem. Now, how much people are in jail getting told on snitch? It's crazy now because there's more scared people, which means that there's more people that are getting into this, making the wrong decisions and then cracking under pressure.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, man. This is just what I'm trying to figure out in my head, man. Do you know what I mean?
I think let's take a minute break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it. Bro.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, bro.
Alright.
Man.